The time has come. Is Genshin Impact getting boring? Let's dive right into this question. So obviously Genshin is not a new game. It was released September 28th of 2020, so this year it will be its 4th anniversary being a game that has released. But I think the question of is a game boring or is a game getting boring goes deeper within, like, what makes a game boring to people, or what makes a game start to get boring that you once enjoyed, or what could the developers be doing that is making their game uninteresting to their players. Now, just a disclaimer here, I am in no way hating on Genshin Impact or Hoyoverse or anybody who has contributed to the making of Genshin Impact. I personally love the game. I mean, sometimes I have my phases where I get bored of it, and then I have my phases where I come back and I want to play it all the time. But I do want to talk about maybe some of the things that Hoyoverse is doing that is dissatisfying other players. And maybe, just maybe, it's just the people, it's just the way our brain chemistry works. But anyway, I want to get into this question a little bit because my friend found it as one of the trending topics recently, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I think one thing from the player's point of view is that a lot of gamers tend to give themselves burnout on their favorite games often, and even though we don't mean to, it happens very, very often. Um, like, typically you find a game, you start it, you play it for, who knows how many hours. Like, when I started Genshin, I was playing it for like hours and hours and hours at a time. I wanted to get caught up on everything. I wanted to learn all of the lore and stuff in Genshin Impact, and it's like I just got a burnout, and it's just like, well, I really don't feel like playing Genshin. And like, it just randomly happens one day. It's just, I want to play, hey, maybe I could play Genshin, but then it's also just like, you think about it, and it's like, I don't feel like playing Genshin. It's like, I want to play something else. So then you find another game, and you play that for a while, along with maybe a few other games, and then you end up getting burnout after a while. And, of course, then you end up being like, oh yeah, I remember playing Genshin Impact. I kind of want to play it again now. And then you're just going through this same cycle over and over again. But now, I want to get into what game developers can possibly do that will make their game uninteresting or turn people away from it. And specifically in this case, I want to talk about some examples with Hoyoverse, because there have been a few issues with them in the past. So let's get right into it. One of the very good examples I have is when people were wanting and calling out Hoyoverse for not adding a diversity into their characters. And as we can see here, it's actually kind of true. They really don't have any characters that are really darker skinned. And I think Jinyan down here is the only confirmed person of color in Genshin Impact. And she's actually a mix between, if I remember correctly, Asian and black, if I remember correctly. But she's the only confirmed person of color, I believe. I don't really know if any other characters have a confirmed race or not, such as Kaya, or what even Rosari is, considering the fact that she's fucking pink, but I also think it's good to have diversity in characters in a game, especially a game that has human-like characters, such as Genshin Impact. However, I haven't heard this problem being brought up anytime recently, so who knows? And of course, we still have other nations to go to, so perhaps maybe we'll find some new characters that will have more diversity to them in the future. I also think people can start to get bored of a game's type of gameplay, or also just not like a game's gameplay in general. For example, when you're playing Genshin Impact, and you find a little hilly churl village, it's got a chest to it, so you gotta fight the hilly churls to unlock it. And you're fighting all the little hilly churls, running around, and all of a sudden you just start climbing a cliff. No explanation, not even intending to. You just jump and all of a sudden you're on the cliff. Or whenever you get thrown into a corner by like 5 ruin guards trying to get a common chest in Inazuma. I also think another thing can be the new content in the game, such as any new events, or just any new content in general. I mean, how many times have we done a little event where we've had a domain, and we go in there, and we fight for a certain amount of time, and we just get rewards for it? I mean, what happened to hide and seek? Now, overall, everyone has their different opinions on Genshin. Some people think it's okay. Some people love Genshin. Some people absolutely hate it and wish Genshin never existed. But of course, we all have our different opinions on Genshin. Some people think it's boring. Some people think it's fun. But overall, I like it. I think it's a pretty good game. It could be getting boring to some of you. Some people maybe it's not. Some people maybe you're just getting a burnout when you play Genshin Impact for so long. And however long you've been playing it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.